welcome back to another episode of Tinfoil Hat.
Come with me into the waters of conspiracy with Sam Tripoli.
Sam Tripoli.
Sam Tripoli.
Sam Tripoli.
Mr. Sam Tripoli. With my friend Ryan Davis.
Hi, Ryan.
We're
like
the
doing
first
this
gay
'cause-
couple of conspiracy theories.
I think it's beautiful, man.
It's some mystical, deep, dark realm, crazy shit.
Wake up, Aaron.
Hey man, we're spitting truth there, dog.
Oh, what the fuck are you guys even talking about?
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Revolution will be podcasted.
Yes! Bam! We are back in the bunker. It is Tinfoil Hat. Joining me, as always, my partner in crime, the most off-the-grid motherfucker you ever meet. He's the young Christian warrior.
He comes to fight.
He fights for love. Ryan Davis, everybody. Ryan, how are you?
Dude, I'm here to get queer, so let's do this.
We got a packed studio real quick, but let's go through the business real quick. You guys, check out Tinfoil Hat, again, on Twitter, Tinfoil Hat Cast. You can get all the news. I only put my political stuff, my conspiracy stuff now on this thing, and I am fighting the good fight. Me and Roseanne Barr, okay? So go to Tinfoil Hat Cast, all right? Then we also got the Instagram. Bitches be bumping, everybody. Bitches be bumping. Go to Tinfoil Hat Pod. We're at over 2,000 followers on that, so that is great. So follow us there. Obviously, we also have the Tinfoil Hat Reddit page. It's reddit.com/r/Tinfoil Hat Show. And real quick, we also got a brand new t-shirt. Here's what we do on the show. You guys make art. If we like it, we turn them into t-shirts, okay? We got a couple up top. Go to allcomedyt-shirts.com/tinfoil hat and check out the brand new one we just put out. You guys asked for shirts, we put them out. It is the Revolution Will Be Podcasted Tinfoil Hat shirt. That's right. It is the podcast waves going out, while obviously this gentleman is an Armenian because he turns into a werewolf. So that is it. And who real quick, let me get I'm going to find his name real quick. It's Nick something. But also check out our YouTube page. Go to youtube.com/Sam Tripoli, and we upload every single website, every single episode we have. I just want to find this guy's name's Nick's last name real quick. Anything else? Keep talking.
It'll be in the show notes.
It'll be in the show notes. Okay.
You know who you are.
But I know you guys get really mad if you make us shirts and we don't give you shout-outs, and I agree with that. I'll find your name, Nick, as the show's going on. I really appreciate the hard work you've done for that. And another live show. I am doing a show with a killer cast through Texas. It is the Social Justice Warriors Tour, comedy tour of Texas. Brody Stevens, Jim Florentine, Chad Zumock, and myself. This San Antonio day gig is not right. We're trying to find a new venue. But Houston, December 16th, we will be at the Secret Group. And then we will be in Austin, December 17th at Cap City Comedy Club. Those tickets are available on their respective websites. Go to www.thesecretgroup.texas.com and capcitycomedy.com. So check it out. And everybody, thank you for coming out to our live show. Bam! It was a good live show, huh?
Yeah, La Jolla, man. You guys showed up in full force.
All right, guys, so we're going to do a little something special here. I have a lot of friends of mine who have some great podcasts, and I always love to help people out, because people did it for us. When we started this podcast, people thought it was a really great podcast, so they came on and let us do a podcast with them. So we're doing it now. Why don't you introduce them real quick,
So
Ryan?
this podcast is called CRiiiME with 3 I's.
It's called CRiiiME.
It's with Rich Slaton and John Shefsky. Gentlemen?
Guys, welcome to the show.
Hi,
Thank
everybody.
you. Woo!
Real quick,
give me a high
buddy,
five.
how are you? We haven't seen you for a while.
I'm good, dude.
Good.
I'm real good.
Do you recognize Ryan at all?
I recognize Ryan from this dream I used to have about being a character in Braveheart, fighting next to a really brave man. Is that?
That's not it, dude.
No, that's not it. I recognize we talked on the phone, didn't we? We had a good conversation.
Yeah, but that's not
Were
how
you ever called
recognize
John
somebody.
Hanukkah Shefsky?
I actually am very honored to have that nickname.
Yeah.
Thank you. It brings me back
By
to
any
feeling
chance, are you
Jewish.
a Bulldog alumni?
Wow, you did a scary research of me. I
No,
went
he
to
didn't.
high
Even
school.
more.
Yeah.
Yep.
What else you got?
We graduated the same
We
high
went to school together?
Yep.
Were we in the same? I thought he did research. Oh.
So I'm one of the many Ryan Davises, not the trench coat mafia, and not not the date rapist. I'm just the burnout.
That's hilarious. Dude, wait, so did we graduate the same year and everything?
99?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like shit for not remembering.
Well,
did we hang
the
out at all?
funniest thing is you walked in and you made eye contact with everybody but him.
We've changed
Well,
over
Sam,
the
you're a
years.
close friend. I haven't seen you forever. And I was like, there's Tripoli right there in the corner. Yeah.
right.
And then it's like, and here's his buddy right here. We'll get to
Right.
know each other better.
Yeah.
Apparently, we go farther back than any of you assholes.
Not Trenchcoat Davis. We get it.
We did have a trench coat mafia, though. Wasn't Dylan? Was Dylan the
didn't
leader
have
of the
one,
trench
really?
coat? Yeah.
Dylan, I remember Chris. I actually knew all the punk rockers used to hang out with.
Oh, right on.
So we grew up in a very small area where there's only literally, I think, 2 Jews. So
Yeah,
you
I
were
was one of them.
Yep. The other one was a coke dealer.
Too. Not
The
a lot
other-
of Jews.
Wait, who was the other Jew?
Derek Sneezy Snyder, a.k.a.
Don't tell people he's a Jew.
I don't
We're
think
trying
I
to keep
know
it
him.
secret.
I don't think I know.
What are you
him.
doing?
He's an accountant
For
now,
a conspiracy podcast, you guys are giving out personal information way too easily.
That's probably not his real name, Slaton. You're too trusting.
I'm pretty sure his name isn't Sneezy.
Actually,
no one looked at the little baby and go, what should we call him? Mama, let's call him Sneezy.
Sneezy.
And now we have
It ain't
old
easy being
Sneezy
sneezy.
here.
No, I think what you did right now was really cool because I'm actually the Jewish coke dealer at my school, and you threw everyone off my tail.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you very
nice.
Well,
nice.
welcome, guys.
Welcome to the show. Crime. Tell us about crime and get into your business.
Tell him, Slaton.
It's like Mystery Science Theater for true crime stories. We research, or I research in depth.
You son of a
You don't
bitch.
research shit.
I
You
know,
research
but the way
nothing
you
ever.
say it is so condescending in
Well, I
public.
just had to
do
switch.
all the work, then John. Listen.
Yeah, I do all the work, then you come and shit on it
Your
and
show
ruin
would
my damn
suck
life.
if I wasn't there, you piece of shit.
It would be boring
It'd
by
be
comparison.
boring
That's very
AF.
true. It'd just be history.
Slayton goes out like the journalist that he is, which I respect and never talk down about what he does
Right,
for the
yeah,
show.
true.
He does
You're
all
too
of his-
busy doing Snapchats for Comedy Central.
That is
to
right.
Be doing
Thank
research.
you. I'm pretty big. I paid half of 1 month's. Well, I couldn't even pay that of my rent. Okay, it's pretty
You're
funny.
on the board, dude.
that's
What I
right.
tell you, you're on the board.
Thanks, Tripoli.
That
it
it's
really
gonna
has made a
keep going.
difference. Tomorrow I'll be at a pizza shop doing 7 minutes.
You're
It
gonna be
has-
on the board. I'll get you in the show. Shut the fuck up.
I'm just riffing. I'm just teasing. I'm very happy and grateful.
So every episode, I research in depth the true life of a real criminal. I turn it into these pages and I read it on the show. And Shefsky and whoever else is with us makes fun of it, talks shit, whatever, has a good time.
It's a lot of fun.
right.
It's a lot. Slayton's kind of like the substitute teacher, and I like this. is
Crime,
my-
how many
my
episodes
job to
are
be
we
an
in?
asshole.
We've released 36 or 37 episodes.
Awesome,
New
awesome.
episode every week.
Oh, look at you.
with
Every
all,
week?
With all
we're
your
on it.
favorite Comedy Store comedians.
Nice.
We treat it like a job. This guy is doing his research like a journalist every goddamn week.
That's what you're supposed
His
to
marriage
do,
is failing. He's gaining weight. Everything is happening.
So
bad.
No, I was already fat.
But he's
Is he a
dedicated.
friend of Aaron's? Because you guys must go to some secret group together where you discuss your failed marriages.
I'm just teasing. His marriage is great.
My,
And
marriage,
Ray-
my marriage is great, but I am out of shape.
Yeah.
I'll cop to that.
Why
part.
is he popping so much? Is it just his loud
Is it just me
fucking
popping?
mouth?
You should be honored,
I'm getting in
Sam.
my headphones a whole bunch.
You're the second of the Punch Drunk crew to be on Crime. First
Oh, yeah.
one is Jason Bag of Leaves, Tebow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
Tebow's
team's
amazing.
on a great episode about
Tebow's
George
amazing.
Appo, a pickpocket, probably the most famous pickpocket in New York history.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah,
Tebow,
Tebow's-
the second most famous
So
pickpocket.
you guys
Yeah.
got a couple sponsors on your show?
Yeah, we'll drop those in just a second, and let's kick this thing off.
I've never heard anyone like take a plug and be like, "Nah, I don't want to do it right now." But
Yeah,
it's
that was
on
so
someone's
weird.
show.
That was so weird.
No,
Hey,
because we have to
you
drop
wanna
it.
plug your
we
shit?
have to drop them in
Nah.
at a certain spot for when we release this on our side.
Okay.
Yeah,
Clayton's
yeah.
gonna leave me on your show. He's like,
That's
why
what's
don't
up.
you stay with them?
Yeah, why don't you?
I'm gonna
if you're
go
on
do crime by
their side-
myself.
Go
You ready to do
on,
this thing?
Slaton. All right.
Crime is a show where I, Rich Slaton, read a true story about lawbreakers.
With his aggressive guest host, John Shefsky.
You are very aggressive, and that's my favorite thing about you.
I do. I bash.
Also, your hair. Your hair is fantastic right now.
you. All right. Well,
Ignore your hair.
Is
play
it
the
your
music.
school where you guys just have great hair?
thank you. That's a good point. You do have a beautiful mane.
It's in the water.
You're like
Yeah,
a
it's in the
lion.
water.
You're like a lion.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the green mist water. All
Play
right.
the damn music.
All right. Fine. Play the music. I was gonna get a compliment.
All right, if you're on our side of the podcast now, we're doing a fantastic episode today, a Swapcast with our friends from Tinfoil Hat. Put your virtual hands together, crime fans, for Sam Tripoli and Ryan Davis.
Yay.
We're here.
Two sexy people. Big fans of both of them. Check out Tinfoil Hat if you like conspiracies, and if you like our show, you probably kind of like conspiracy because you love a good mystery.
You're interested in what's going on. You're an inquisitive mind. Check it out.
Check out that Tinfoil Hat. Before we jump into today's story, we have to thank our two sponsors. First, our friends at C3 Risk and Insurance Services. Guys, you need insurance for shit. People do bad things to you.
You've learned in the show. You know things can happen.
Oh, all the time. So if you need homeowners insurance, car insurance, commercial insurance, hit up Joe Earl at C3 Risk Insurance Services.
Do they do like body insurance, like butts and tits?
You know what? I bet you they will. I bet you they will.
Joe Earl would love for you to come in and just to assess how much your butt is worth. I'm sure.
And
well, I have no ass. Mine disappeared. He likes to tell me this consistently. He's like, dude, you have the flattest ass I've ever seen.
If you want to insure Sam's ass, go to Joe Earl at C3 Risk Insurance Services. If you get a policy on Sam's ass or anything, he will give you a $25 Amazon gift card.
Snap.
Tell him Shefsky sent you. Tell him you'll get that $25 gift
that
card.
one. Our second sponsor, Studio Headphones out of Sweden.
The
Studio Tray.
Studio Headphones.
The tray is designed for sports and activewear. It's anti-sweat. It's got different ear fobs. It's also designed so with great hearing, you can also not only hear the music you're listening to, but hear the world around you so you don't get hit by a car when you're on your bike or whatever.
So it's anti-sweat, meaning it battles sweat?
It battles sweat.
Yeah.
It throws those beats, battles sweat, keeps you from getting killed, and if you put in the code CRiiiME15, you get 15% off.
Crime just with one eye. For some reason, they didn't do it with three eyes.
It's CRiiME15.
Very confusing.
And they will ship anywhere, free shipping worldwide.
They're so good.
Antarctica, where you're not allowed to go, where the lizard people live, would they
we
ship
not allowed to
there?
go
You know what's great about Studio
You're not allowed
Headphones?
to go to certain parts of it.
Is that they have multiple different earbuds, so if you're a lizard person, they have one that'll fit your weird tiny ear canal,
Those
which
tiny
is much
weird
like mine.
ones, yeah.
That little
So
hole.
Antarctica is the size of like, how big is
Isn't
Antarctica?
it North America?
Yeah, it's humongous.
It's giant.
So you've heard people go, I can go there and ski. Yeah, you can ski on parts of Antarctica. That's kind of like saying, I can go to the boardwalk in New Jersey, therefore I can go to boardwalk. No, it's like New Jersey is in
It's a great example, by the way, if I can stop you.
Giant.
Which boardwalk can't they go to, though, Sam? I need an analogy that
There
works.
are places you can't go.
Okay.
I'm sure there's private boardwalks,
Yeah.
like there's private beaches.
Yeah, no, I get
right?
you. I'm sorry.
So it's dude.
You're back to
Why
it.
are you apologizing? dude?
I was a dick. I
Why
jumped
are you
on it. I just wanted to
apologizing?
riff, and I jumped in it. I'm an asshole.
That's what we do.
Give me this coffee
So
water.
it's like, there's giant parts of Antarctica that is completely militarized, and you're not allowed to go there.
They're actually militarized? Like
Yes.
there's like missiles and bases?
Well, there's areas that the military will not, like, if you go there, you most likely get shot.
Really?
John
I didn't know that.
Graham Burge was born on December 20th, 1947 in Chicago, Illinois.
JGB is
There
what they
you go.
used to call him.
His father, Floyd, worked for the phone company. His mother, Ethel, wrote a fashion column for a local paper, organized fashion shows, and did a little modeling herself. She even wrote a book, This Business of Dressing for Business.
That's a really dumb title, by the way.
This business for dressing for business?
Oh, yeah.
can we use
So no one goes, hey, why are you using the word business twice in it?
That's really
in
annoying.
what? Yeah, in 4.5
It was
words.
the 50s, though?
Do you think it was where he was just like, fine, write a book?
Yeah.
I don't care.
I don't give a I work an actual job. I go up telephone poles all day.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do with your little dresses or whatever.
Right? Oh, God, the business of business? Okay.
Yeah,
I've got something burning inside me. I want to be out there doing something.
That's fine. Just I don't care. Just don't tell me about it. Just
I'm
do it
writing
on
a
your
business
own.
book about business, and it's none of your business.
Oh yeah, you just made the notes you left me telling me to go to work. I get it.
Yeah, that's probably how it went.
John was a good student.
That was community theater right there, right?
That's what this whole show is.
Kindly Community Theater.
Welcome to crime.
What was the name of your school?
Nope.
Is
I got to stay off the grid.
Oh, really? Should I not say it? I think I might have said it earlier.
You guys already
Yeah,
said the
who
Bulldogs.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
And you
Welcome
named
to
and you listed
Bulldog.
the
Play it along.
Jews. What are you,
Community-
Breitbart, listing the Jews at your school out loud?
Yeah.
What's
You-
wrong with Bart being smart?
By
Am I
the
right?
way,
Simpsons?
Steve Bannon, big guy in fucking Breitbart, says he's a Christian Zionist. Go.
Proud of him.
Keep your story.
John was a good student until his first year at University of Missouri, when he spent more time partying than studying and was eventually asked to leave.
So he was a student. Is that
Yes.
what it is?
Yeah, but he flunked out. Most
Does
students,
anyone
get it
remember?
done.
Did you guys go to college?
Yeah.
Do you remember
I did
ever
great.
studying?
Yeah.
That's why I stopped going, actually.
I graduated
was like,
cum laude.
studying's for high school, bro.
Cum
And then I
laude?
stopped.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
3, 5, or above.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. That's what I did because I'm good at shit.
Is this the story of one of the founders of AA?
Right? This is the story of how I'm able to pump out 3,000 words a goddamn week.
Okay,
Do you guys remember the movie Mallrats where the guy goes, "I too would like to come loud one day, preferably in a '69." Okay, go on with your story, Slaton.
John worked as a stock clerk at a grocery store back home for a few months before he decided he'd be happier joining the army in the middle of the Vietnam War.
Uh-oh.
John,
Nice.
Yeah, right? He's like, let me go in there.
Yeah.
That's
John-
how bad he hates his wife. He's like, I'd rather be at war.
Not married yet. He's like 19.
Oh, I'm talking about the kids. Sorry, I was
Yeah,
thinking
the
about the
kid.
dad for a second.
John loved the service. He spent some time as a drill instructor before attending military police school at Fort Benning, where he received training in a number of skills, including interrogation.
Oh, snaps. Bum, bum, bum.
He volunteered to go to Vietnam twice.
Because he got such a boner when he pulled people's fingernails
He
off, or
fucking
what?
loved it.
Creep
bro.
alert!
In the jungles of Vietnam, John earned a series of commendations. He was twice cited for valor after he left the bunkers to drag wounded men to safety during firefights.
Holy shit.
Staff Sergeant Burge added the Bronze Star, the Vietnamese Cross of Gallantry, and a Purple Heart before taking an honorable discharge in 1969.
Now, do you know that the Gulf of Tonkin incident, right, was done by a man whose son later went on to become, who do you think?
President
Brett Ratner.
Jim Morrison.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That was his dad who did that?
Yeah. His
There was
dad
always some
based-
interesting things.
I
about
wonder why his
Morrison
music
family.
was so counterculture, bro.
Well, there's a whole theory that was all CIA stuff, too, because they were all rich kids from Laurel Canyon. So
Yeah.
all those guys, and they all suddenly got huge deals when none of them had demo tapes, none of them were bands, none of them were any
One of
that
those
shit.
weird branches off MK Ultra.
Yeah.
We just gave them acid. They created
Bam,
art. And we
bam,
run the scene.
bam.
To be fair,
trippy
most
shit.
Rage Against the Machine fans are either Mexicans from LA or white kids from the suburbs. There's not like a lot of crossover in between.
There's a lot of white kids that are. I grew up on.
That's what I'm
Rage
saying.
Against
That's literally what I just
Isn't
said
it about
out
race?
loud.
Don't we all just look like
Yeah.
the people from
Yeah.
Cocoon when you take our skin off?
White, that's what I'm saying. That's who the fans are of the. I don't even care.
Go on with your fucking story,
John,
Slaton!
where the shit was I? A few months after his discharge, he landed his dream job with the Chicago Police Department.
Oh, Jesus.
Ah.
All those sausages and
Here we
peppers.
go.
Patrolman Burge
Chicago.
quickly racked up more awards, the first coming just 2 years after donning the badge. John responded to reports of a woman with a gun at a drugstore in a poor black neighborhood, only to find a young woman talking on the phone and holding a gun to her own throat.
I bet you that chick is great in bed. Anybody else?
Oh, yeah. She's crazy?
Right?
Oh,
Is
she
anybody
really knows.
like, oh, that chick probably lets you go deep quick.
Yeah, she's crazy. She could really relax her ass.
There's anyone who knows gunplay chicks. It's Sam Tripoli. Tell you that right now.
I'm telling you, I used to have a great bit about that.
After a long standoff, feeling like she was going to pull the trigger, he lunged for the gun.
Damn, so he had balls. This guy had chutzpah.
She pulled, but nothing happened because John Burge was fast enough to jam his thumb in the firing
Shut
mechanism.
up! Who's this guy, Paul Bunyan?
That earned his
Where was
first
the
commendation.
Blue Ox when this was all going
Right?
on?
Did he have like a controller where he could press the triangle thing and everything slowed down for everyone else and he could
Yeah.
just roll?
Bullet time.
Is that what it's called? Bullet time?
Bullet
in the
time,
video
there you
games?
go.
Who's that guy in the X-Men that can move so fast he can like fix your hair?
Quicksilver.
Like, yeah, who's this guy? Quicksilver?
Yes.
If I was Quicksilver, I'd just pull women's pants down all the time and take
Oh,
sniffs.
there we go. Me too.
Sorry, Mom!
Hashtag me too. When's the Avengers coming out? Dude, Iron Man showed me his big green dick all the time. Sorry, Scarlett
That's
Johansson.
a strange place to take Quicksilver.
Right?
If I was Professor X, I'd just convince girls that they wanted to fuck me with my brain
Right?
powers.
Oh yeah, how would you know? I
All
bet
of the X-Men are getting in trouble. They're all women are coming out against all the X-Men. 7,500 women have come out against Professor X recently. They're
Well,
dropping
how would
his
they
deals.
know? How would they know?
Cyclops burned my underwear off.
Whoa, singed my beef.
Ooh,
All right,
that's
go
a
on.
whole lot. That earned his first commendation and a quick promotion to detective.
You're really good at getting right back to it after
Wow.
weird shit.
John's other most famous act of heroism came in 1980. After witnessing a robbery while off duty, he followed the getaway car until it stopped at a red light. With no radio, no backup, and only a 5-shot snub-nosed revolver,
And his hands tied behind his back. What's known for bobbing for criminal apples.
John snuck up to the car on foot and ordered them out of the vehicle. By the time help arrived, he already had the 3 men lying on the street with their hands on their heads.
And he didn't have a gun?
All he had was a 5-shot snub-nosed revolver.
Okay, that is a gun.
But it was 3 men who just robbed a place. Like,
Yeah.
it's a pretty badass move. It's some
Right,
John McClane
right.
No,
shit.
it's still-
Right.
it's a lot of
It's like
balls.
when the 1,000 guys took out like 100,000 of the what are they called? The Aztecs.
Are you talking about the movie 300?
No, the Aztecs, right?
No,
They
It
had
was like when the
1,000
guys with the
yeah.
abs stopped all
Take out
those
a
Persians from coming in.
100,000 Aztecs.
Something like that, yeah.
They're like, we got friends coming. The Aztecs are like, or the Mayans were like, oh, fuck it, we're done. We're done.
And that's how you get them.
Yeah.
You
That's
know what's
how I
making
get
me
'em.
sad about this story is this guy sounds like a badass hero that we always need.
Oh,
in
he's
this
super
world.
great. He's
and
one
I
of the
have
best
a feeling
people
that
of
he's
all
going to
time.
turn into a piece of
No, why would you think that?
of duty because how our show works. This guy isn't
I
a
think
hero.
this guy's going to be a hero the whole way through,
Okay.
and nothing bad's going to happen.
Okay.
Because I didn't choose a topic that kind of was conspiracy adjacent for our friends here today.
Oh, Ficht, go on.
Of course I wouldn't do that. The following year, he's promoted again to commander of the Area 2 Violent Crimes Unit. Over the next 20 years, John Burge would earn 13 commendations, a letter of praise from the DOJ, and a promotion to commander, outranking 99% of the Chicago PD. Everything was going great.
Except for that 1%. That dude was fucking shady
Something's
as shit.
going on.
We're turning the corner here.
What's happening?
Until February 9th, 1982.
Oh, what a
Oh,
great year
Ficht.
82 was, too.
Yeah,
That
dude.
was a good
Some of the
year.
best cocaine in the history of America, 1982.
I was
Yeah.
a little baby, so I don't really know about the cocaine. At that
I wasn't
time.
alive yet, but I just have heard the stories.
Oh, you little bitch.
Two of Burge's officers pulled over a brown 1978 Chevy Impala.
Of course, there's gonna
I
be
would
problems.
totally pull that car over.
The car was brown, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
make
I
sure
mean
you're
the people
following
inside
the
also.
rules.
The officers approached the car unaware that both men had warrants and were fresh off a burglary from within the last hour.
Oh, shit.
While one officer frisked the driver, the passenger got out of the car and grabbed the other officer's gun.
Ooh.
As they struggled, it went off, putting a bullet through the officer's head.
Oh, shit.
Wow. So he went from robber to murderer.
Hearing the shots, the other officer pointed his gun at the driver before the man with the gun dropped him with a shot to the chest, followed by 4 more before they drove off.
Both the cops ended up dead.
Both cops dead.
And the two guys that were they murderers before that? Did they just turn into murderers?
They just turned into murderers.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, one of them did. The other one was the
But
driver.
John's not here for this event.
John's not
this
here
event
right
is
now.
just important.
No,
to the
John is
story.
the captain of this precinct.
Okay.
Yeah.
John's probably eating donuts somewhere.
The captain
He
of the
quite literally he
precinct.
was around the he was somewhere else like eating or drinking or something when he got the page.
Yeah, probably got those donuts.
Apple fritter. That's my favorite one.
These two made it 5 officers shot in the month of February. John Burgle, determined to catch. I don't know why.
Yeah.
There's an L there.
You
I
want to
just
say?
want-
You want to say
Hey,
our
dude.
word? Bugoolery.
Bugoolery, I always wanna
We
say
love
it.
saying
By the way,
bugoolery.
you're 3 pages in, and that's your first mess up. You're doing pretty good.
Thank you,
I
sir.
would
Oh,
still
man.
be
Well,
on
I
the first
accidentally wrote an
paragraph.
L. It's a typo,
You're
not
a
even
very
a reading
supportive
error.
man.
Thank you.
That's what I love about Triple E. He's always very supportive.
Sure.
In every way, even if you're on the same podcast, he's
Yeah.
supportive.
I forgot my underwear one day. He just held my balls the entire time.
Go on with your
Keep them
story,
from running.
Slaton.
John Burge, determined to catch the culprits, didn't leave work for 5 days. He made it very clear to his precinct that they needed these guys by any means necessary.
And that he needed a shower.
The boys listened. Over the next 5 days, the force tore through black neighborhoods, kicking down doors.
Just black neighborhood.
Oh, no, they didn't go to any I mean, first of all, the suspects were black.
Okay.
So they weren't going
I
to like
still think that you're
they-
racist.
They weren't going to Cubs games trying
know.
to find
I'm just
the
joking.
trying to find the culprits.
We gotta have an SJW once in a while on this show. I was him.
Hey,
and as usual, I was wrong. So go on with your
Tripley's
story.
going on the SJW tour. We've got one right here.
Yeah,
He's clearly
social justice warriors.
they
I'm a
kicked,
social justice warrior. I'm very concerned.
they kicked down doors and questioned every young black man in sight. Complaints came in but went unheard.
We'll get him.
One of these guys has to be him, probably. Hey, you're a black. Why did you do this?
Meet the blacks.
Meet the black. What is this? People's Court. Bum 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 bum. Meet the blacks.
One
If
couple.
Judge Judy just like scolded the whole black race, that'd be a funny speech.
Stop it! Stop it! You don't see what? You don't think I know what you're doing? Stop it!
Just the millions
Stop
and millions
it.
of black people and Judge Judy. Like, we could cut that together. Actually,
You
That'd
with
be
your
pretty
hippity hoppities, please.
good. Just
Pull
the
your pants up. Why is your ass hanging out? Stop it!
You just cut the Million Man March with her scolding one black dude, and just keep cutting back to the wide of them all standing there. Okay, go on with your story, Slaton. Sorry.
One couple claimed that officers questioned them with a gun pointed at their daughter's head.
Standard
Okay,
operating
that's
procedure.
insane.
Yeah, of course.
That is insane.
No, that's what's wrong about that. It seems like a normal way you get people. Yeah, Ryan's on point.
Yeah.
Another man reported that a cop shot his dog. A fireman complained that he was arrested for standing on the street corner, had a tooth knocked out, and was charged with disorderly conduct.
And he was a fireman?
It was a fireman. But I mean, he was a black fireman, so I mean, come on. It's
Does anyone not doubt these? Does anyone not doubt? I mean, this is what 1982.
It's interesting. You're going to find out a lot of people doubt these things as we go through this story. Shocker. A lot of people don't believe these black guys when they say that police beat them up.
Right. But I'm
That
saying,
is so weird.
in 2017, do we find any of this? Not. I mean, dude, if somebody shot my dog, I would go
Oh,
fucking
fuck yeah.
nuts.
And they do that. DA does that shit all the time. Yeah.
You shoot my dog.
Oh,
I'm like,
wrong house. Sorry. Sorry about the dog.
My policy, and I think the American
taking your
policy,
boat.
is to always blame the victim. So that's where I start. And
Yeah.
then once we blame the victim, then
You're
we
seeing
can go
that now
on.
with the Louis C.K. stuff. People are like, come on, it's just a fucking beating off in front of two girls. And you're like, well, there's also like Dave Becky like threatening to blacklist them from fucking,
That's a good point.
that's
actually a really
comedy.
good point.
That might be something.
Look, I know for a fact
Well,
that
he
there-
was beaten up.
that there will never be any sort of like sexual harassment claims by women against me. But if you ever hear them against me, you're like, oh, it's just dudes at the Comedy Store that Rich Slaton sexually harassed for years.
Yeah.
I've
'Cause
grabbed more
I-
male
yeah.
comics tushies.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could definitely get a lot of people on that one.
Okay, go back
I
to your
only
story.
harass men.
We're going to have to cut out 10 minutes of this.
Dude, we should change the name of Punch Drunk to Sexually Harassed by Ari. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
we see his balls and dick and taint every fucking show.
Ooh, you know what? C3 Insurance can insure his asshole if you're concerned about all that.
I guarantee you take a look
It's
at that. It's like I can't insure it.
Oh,
it's
it's a pre-existing condition.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, I had to bleach it. You don't want to get too close to
Had to or got to?
a little bit of both.
it.
A little bit of
I
both.
volunteered.
I get that.
guess I
Yeah,
guess.
so you got to.
Did you put that stuff under your nose that did in Silence of the Lambs before they see the
Oh, you
corpse?
mean
Where
the,
it's- yeah, the
the,
little
uh,
wax
little-
thing that they're like,
little
okay,
bang
it's
bang.
going to get gnarly in here.
When you do the autopsy, the morgue. Yeah.
little falafel
A little
chunk.
bit of morgue sauce, they call it.
Morgue sauce.
Can I get a little bit of that morgue sauce?
The police presence was so bad in these neighborhoods that some parents sent their sons to stay with relatives out of town to avoid the dragnet. But it worked. They soon had the identity of the shooter. 29-year-old Andrew Wilson had a long history with the law. As a kid, he regularly skipped school, which may explain why he never learned to read. At 14, he started stealing. By 15, he had his first burglary conviction and a stint in juvenile detention. He was arrested again in 69, 70, and 71 before an armed robbery conviction in 1975 earned him 8 to 16 years, of which he only served 6.
And all this stuff, he was never a murderer.
Not a murderer yet. You're absolutely right. He only pointed guns at people and took their stuff. And he got out in 1981 and went right back to it, committing 4 armed robberies in less than 3 months.
Yeah, where are you going to go from there? You don't have a lot of career options.
Podcasting wasn't around then, so
Yeah.
you couldn't build a big audience and get a bunch of advertisers to
Dude,
float your
I
boat.
bet you the amount of felons in this country, if you did a felony podcast, you'd probably be huge.
Oh yeah.
You right?
Is that right?
Welcome to Got Locked Up, and it's bullshit. Today
Welcome
we're
to
gonna,
I Can't Vote.
We're going to run a train on this twink. Okay, let's go for it.
They create like a Patreon where you just take the money from people. Like Patreon came to my account. Oh, it was that Robbers podcast.
At one of the armed robberies,
They're making $6,000 a month though, so they're smart businessmen.
at one of the robberies at a clothing store, Andrew had his brother Jackie, the driver, pose as a victim so he could give false descriptions to the police when they came to investigate.
Smart.
Right?
Oh, that's
one of my
hilarious.
favorites.
That's genius, actually.
The cops learned that the robberies had a purpose: to gather guns for a jailbreak, an effort by Andrew to free one of February's other cop killers.
This is 19s. This is in the 1800s.
No,
No,
This is
1980.
This is like 1980. Yeah, this is
A
1980. right now.
jailbreak.
Dude,
What the
Dynasty's on right now.
Yeah.
Oh no, we just did a whole episode with Eric Griffin about a guy in Hungary in the 90s who just robbed banks, like 27 banks over the course of a couple years, and then escaped from jail in like 2000.
With a helicopter?
No, just with a rope out the window.
He actually did that. He did
bet
the.
she-
He
I bet she
tied his
wrote.
Dude,
bed
have
sheets
you
together.
seen Hungarian jails? They're literally
No,
like
and I hope
summer
never
camps.
to. Or
They're like summer
They're
camps.
like this room.
Why does
Yeah.
it seem like if you say Hungarian jail, to me it sounds like it's gonna be
'Cause
awful.
it
but
sounds
like,
hungry. You're like, fuck, I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm starving
and I'm
over
in
here.
jail.
5 days after the shooting, officers arrested Andrew Wilson. John Burge was the first man through that door. He handcuffed Andrew and
slammed his head on the table.
told his officers not to assault the prisoner.
Oh.
That night,
Leave him
Andrew
fresh like a
confessed to the
plum.
murders. Oh yeah, no, leave him. Yeah, be nice. The whole point of this story is that cops are nice. They found his brother a few days later. Both men were tried for the double murder in 1983. Jackie got life in prison, and Andrew was sentenced to death. Case closed, or so we thought. In 1985,
Speaking of a murderer again.
oh, just wait.
Oh, no.
In 1985, Jackie's conviction was overturned because he had not been properly informed of his right to remain silent. But the bombshell came in 1987 when the Illinois Supreme Court threw out the conviction of Andrew Wilson and ordered a second trial.
They threw out the conviction of this cop killer, dude.
Did they say why?
When Andrew Wilson arrived at the station on the night of February 14th, 1982, he only had one small cut over his eye. The next day, Andrew told the public defender about his interrogation. At the arrest, Burge did tell his officers not to harm the prisoner,
That was very nice. of
but
him.
then added, quote, "We'll get him at the station."
Okay.
And boy, did they. First, they took him to a small room where he was beaten, kicked in the eye, and suffocated with a plastic bag from a garbage can.
Oh my God!
This is after they already knew he was guilty?
No, this is when they're making him
Well,
guilty.
they knew he was guilty. He was the cop killer.
Was
Okay.
he?
Oh, yeah, he definitely. Okay, let me just be very close. He 100% shot 2 cops and killed them.
Okay, so
Okay,
now
100%.
my sympathy is changing.
Well, he's still a human being. So
Because
it's
it
still,
sounds
you know.
like, because we hear this all the time, especially in Illinois, where they had to get rid of the death penalty because
This is in
so
Illinois.
many. What?
This is in Illinois.
Right, because so many guys were falsely accused of murder and found guilty and put on death row.
Well, just listen to this story. This might be tying into that a little bit. Oh my gosh. When Burge walked in, he chastised his officers for marking up the victim's face.
Wait. So he scolded them because they made it obvious that he got beaten up?
Yeah.
He's like, you guys
Don't hit him in the face.
telling everyone we're not hurting these fucking guys.
Yeah, dude.
Did he do
balls
it on the side of his
only.
mouth like that too?
You guys.
Yeah, don't kick him in.
Really fucking getting on Burge's nerves here.
Probably should have kicked him in the eye, man. Jeez. Then Burge took Wilson to interview room 2, where
There's definitely
Oh,
different
you never
rooms.
want to go to room 2.
Yeah,
That's the shit.
Yeah.
room 2 is the worst one.
The private dance room? Yeah, that's not
Room
worth
2
it.
looks
Don't,
like something from Saw.
Oh,
He takes him to
screw
room
it.
2. He just puts on Pony by Genuine. Is it? We're gonna have a good time, man. I did not expect this at all.
Hey, there's drinks around the house, bud.
No touching though. They said no touching. Why are you hitting me?
Oh, you're still on the strip clubby. Okay.
Then Burge and a partner. They went to room 2 where Burge said he would get a reputation because his reputation, or get a confession because his reputation was at stake. Then Burge and his partner pulled out a black box with a hand crank, attached wires from the box to Wilson's ear and nostrils, and electrocuted his head.
Awesome.
Oh my God!
So this is sadistic Nazi shit now. This
No,
is creepy.
this is not what. Isn't this normal
This is
American
Illinois.
justice?
This is Illinois.
This is how you. This
I've
is how
been to
you get-
Portello's. That place is great. I have never seen anything where they shocking people like this. This is insane.
in his ear and nose. Seems pretty standard.
You
Why
can buy
the
that
ear and
device.
nose too? Why not the tongue?
Well, just hold on, friend.
Oh no! I love how this is.
The clips cut through his flesh, so after Wilson kept rubbing the alligator clips off of his ears, they left for a little while. When Burge returned, he said, "Fun time," and handcuffed Wilson, stretched out over a radiator, so every time he flinched, it would burn his chest. Oh. When they grew tired of that, Burge slid a wand, also known as a cattle prod, up Wilson's pants and shocked him in the genitals.
Oh my!
You can buy that at the Pleasure Chest. I know that
Well,
personally.
what's really interesting about this
Hopefully
is
it's not the same level
the
of shocking.
specific device that he used here is the one now at the Pleasure Chest.
Oh.
Like,
Are you serious?
no, they made a for the street model.
What kind of world do I live in,
They
man?
made a make it hurt less
Did they-
model. They made a not torture
I
version.
just farted bad.
Congrats, man. I like that we do it in a small, unfiltered room. That's perfect.
Death.
Stink
Crawl.
with 3 eyes. Thank you for listening.
Finally, they took him to stand on a lineup.
Stink! Okay, go on.
Oh, it does too. Thanks. Oh, I can taste it.
I'm breathing through my mouth.
Yeah, this is a lot. This is a lot to handle.
Sam's like, torture? You guys want to experience some torture?
I will bleach Ari's asshole right now to
Welcome
avoid
to
this
the
smell.
gas chamber.
Oh,
Oh,
feast.
God.
Yeah, we brought up Nazis. Oh, you want to talk about the Holocaust? I got Auschwitz going on over here, fellas.
Oh,
My name's Sam Tripoli, and my asshole's called Zyklon B. You can get that on Patreon.com.
Welcome to
Zyklon
room
booty.
2.
Zyklon
Welcome
booty.
to room
Jesus.
2.
Yeah, interview room 2 in this bitch.
9.
Finally, they took Wilson to stand in a lineup where Burge pulled out his gun, shoved it in the man's mouth, and pulled the trigger. It was empty, but Burge kept doing it over
Just
and
to
over
scare
again.
the shit out of
Just
him?
click, 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 click. Doesn't that feel good?
How many N-bombs have you cut out of this story?
All
already?
of them.
Okay.
The main. This story would have we would have to do 3 hours if I put in all the times that word comes up in this plot.
This story has no
So
good
basically,
people in it. It's that the
every-
cops are bad
every
and the
time
criminals
you
are
hear
bad.
it- yeah.
Anybody good here?
No, nobody.
Can they order a
Literally
pizza from
nobody.
like a nice kid that just delivers the pizza that has a
Ding
band
dong.
or something?
Hi guys, I got a large pepperoni.
No, that's where you go. Just wait.
Yeah, right. Just wait.
Hold on.
There will be some pizza.
The delivery driver is a molester.
If you want to see some cheese, oh, Gavolt. The detectives finally took him to lockup so they could blame his injuries on the other prisoners. But they were so bad that the lockup, not wanting to be held responsible, refused to take him in.
Oh, they're like, you can't bring him here now
Yeah.
because he's so injured?
Yeah. So the plan was to put him in lockup and be like, well, the other prisoners beat him up and electrocuted his face and his dick and burned him and stuff.
So the guy who runs lockup has to be that 1% that he doesn't have power over, because the guy runs everything. He should be like, put him in the fucking thing.
Yeah, and he's like, no, I'm literally,
I'm the 1%
not
that
taking
can tell you go fuck
Yeah.
yourself.
Yep.
Or he's just saying, like, just the guy higher than you is going to come back and be mad at me. So, no, we can't do this.
Hours later Go ahead.
No, I was going to say what's his plan, but that's kind of what you're about to do is tell us.
Hours later at Mercy Hospital,
I have a couple problems.
a doctor noted 15 separate injuries before Andrew's police escort pulled out his gun and refused to put it away.
In front of the doctor? Like the doctor was like...
the guy's just like, hey, let me just hold my gun out here real quick while you just keep on diagnosing this murderous cop killer's injuries for a second. I'm just going to like play with my gun and point it at you, kind of.
I'm glad Chicago's super not violent nowadays.
I don't know. The great part about it is that the legacy of Chicago has been cleaned up, and it is a family-friendly city.
I think a Ferris
designed
Bueller's
around
Day
brotherly
Off
love.
and that really cool fast food restaurant, Portillo's.
Dude, you can get an Airbnb in Chicago for $10. That's how shady it is.
That's right. And I say that's a good thing.
How is there homeless people when you get an Airbnb for $10?
Because no one has $10
What's that,
to
one
give.
blowjob? You got a place to stay.
I think a lot of homeless people
That's a
can't put
high-priced
that
Chicago
together.
blowjob. They're still on Al Capone prices. It's 10 cents.
Everything must go. Our blowjobs are so cheap. We're doing Chicago deep dish prices here.
He brings over. See, this is Alan over here. He will suck you dry. Alan's got sores on his mouth. Alan's actually only $5 right now. Marissa, come on over here. What'd you say about me? No. All right.
Hey, mister, I'm just trying to make my way in this world. I ran away from home. I'm 10 years old. I'm precocious. I have a paper route. But I'm offering a new special 5 cents a blowjob. Not a big deal.
I can beat these prices. I can beat these prices. 2 blowjobs, 3 cents. I pay you to suck your dick. Come on down right now. I'm almost out of cash. We got 5 minutes left. Prepare to be dehydrated.
And the doctor, not excited about the gun, left the room. And when he returned, Andrew oddly declined further treatment.
With the criminal?
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I think I'm okay. I don't really need to have these
I don't
injuries.
feel too bad, dog.
I'm good.
Yeah. His balls are still smoking.
My
He's
dick's
like,
totally
"Nah, I'm cool."
fine. Yeah, is that still a live flame coming from your penis?
Nah, dog. He's just looking at the cop. The cop's like doing the slit throat motion. I'm cool, actually. I like it.
In 1988, Andrew Wilson was retried for the murders and again found guilty. This time, instead of death, he was sentenced to life without parole. But that was only because the jury couldn't agree on the verdict. The 10 women all voted for death. The 2 men opposed it.
Damn.
Which I was kind of surprised. I
was too.
Right? I thought that would be the other
I
way around.
was too. But this is 82. White chicks still hated black guys.
Good point. They hadn't jumped on that D yet.
Yeah, they haven't jumped on
They
the
hadn't,
D
they
yet.
hadn't learned their lesson. I get what you're talking about.
Because you think about the chicks back then, white girls who used to bang black guys, like they were mavericks. They didn't play by the rules.
They were taking a chance.
They were like, goodbye all my family members.
They were trendsetters.
Who never wants to talk to me again.
It was the equivalent of being in porn now. Like, if anyone ever sees us, I'm through.
Well, there's eventually where being in porn's not going to be anything either.
Yeah.
Pretty soon we're all going to be in porn.
You know, after years of watching pornographic videos online and having never seen the same girl twice, I'm convinced that almost every woman has done at least one porn.
No,
I believe at this point.
It's my joke. If everybody's a slut, there is no sluts. There's no sluts.
Proud of you, man.
Well, yeah, you're gonna bring society forward, Sam. I
Yeah,
appreciate
good for
that.
the girls.
Between
Let's
your
think about
guys'
it.
listeners and ours, I'm pretty sure there's a Photoshop master out there that can Photoshop our faces into a full-on hardcore gay gangbang. So
Can we not?
could you guys please do that?
Why would
And if you do,
ask for
email that
would
to
you ask for
crimepodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah,
Why would
label
you
it for
ask
John
for
Shefsky.
that?
Get on it, guys.
That's horrible.
I think
Thanks,
that's
Ryan.
actually cool. We could frame that hanging up in the studio.
It could be a tour poster. Tinfoil crime. And we'll
By
take
the
it on the
way,
road
do
and
you know
it'll
what
just be us doing
most
gay
porn
sex.
stars, when they retire, what business they're going into now?
Real
Comedy?
estate.
Real estate.
Everyone goes to real estate.
I was going to say comedy because that's what every person who does when they stop with when their entertainment career
No, they
washes
do
up.
comedy once. They realize they don't get all the cash prizes. They quit.
That's a good point.
Go on.
Getting
What page are we on?
Wilson filed a civil suit in federal court over his torture, but every public defender assigned to the case found some reason to get out of it. Finally, a small firm took it on, and the civil trial began in 1989, bringing claims against Burge, 3 other detectives, one of his supervisors, and the city of Chicago. The attorney defending the police, William Kunkel,
What a kunk.
argued that the marks on Wilson's face were caused by alligator clips, but he claimed that Wilson made them himself with clips stolen from a police desk.
Ooh, that's a good defense right there.
He continued to paint a picture of a cop killer trying desperately to avoid the chair.
Hold on.
Yes.
So the
Question
guy
in the
who
back.
His own defender was throwing him under the bus?
No, this is the attorney defending the police. So now Wilson is filed a civil suit against the city.
Okay.
So he's been tried once. It's got the death penalty. Got kicked out.
So the
tried a
city
second
doesn't
time.
have a lawyer that can represent the city?
The city does. There's an attorney. There's a city attorney defending the police.
Okay.
That's this guy William.
All right,
Kunkel.
I got you. Okay.
Sounds like a conspiracy.
So we are now in the third. We've done two criminal trials. Both of them, Wilson was found guilty, but the second one it was just life in prison.
Okay.
We're on a civil trial now where he's suing over his torture.
Okay.
So the city attorney William Kunkel, let's see. He continued to paint a picture of the cop killer trying to avoid the chair. Kunkel claimed that the burns might have happened before the arrest. Wilson claimed that when he gave his confession to a state's attorney and a court reporter, that he told them about the abuse. They both took the stand and claimed otherwise.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're scared of the cop, right? No one wants to talk against, what's his name? John?
Oh, yeah, John Burge.
John Burge.
Well, also, they're all. Also, there's this whole mentality of, well, this guy is a cop killer. These
Oh, yeah,
are
you still got
criminals.
to, yeah, that's true. You still got to.
So their mentality is already like, hey, fuck this guy in the first place.
Well, how do you feel about it? Just listening to it right now.
Well,
Like, they're
we've
all
talked
pieces
about
of shit.
this. The truth of the matter is, this guy who killed 2 cops is a fucking scumbag.
Yeah.
But the laws aren't just to protect people
Exactly.
who you like.
It's true.
You have to defend the worst in order to protect everybody. And that's what the ACLU does.
That's true.
That's what it's like, laws aren't just meant to
And that's why I
cover the
defend
cool
John
kid.
Podesta, so that we can all be. Is this the wrong show for that?
Wrong show for that,
Oh my
dude.
gosh,
Was Podesta the guy with the pizza restaurant?
He's the guy who fucks the kids. Go on.
I have no idea. I'm just
You
trying
should
to throw
listen
out-
to an audio tape of him doing it, dude.
I don't think I would like to
He's
ever
a
hear anything
scumbag.
like that.
Go
But
on.
thank you.
He's going down, though. Go on.
Kunkel presented documents from the hospital claiming that Wilson blamed his injuries on a fall outside the police station. He argued there was no way that Burge would put his gun in Wilson's mouth during the lineup, as it would have been way too risky in front of a one-way mirror.
Your Honor, I can barely get the gun out of my holster myself.
If the gun don't fit, you must have quit.
That's actually a pretty
I like
good reference
that.
right there. That's
I
really,
like that.
that's
Good job.
Good
Thanks,
job.
guys. I've been doing this for a little while.
Good job,
Professional.
Slaton. Oh, then he gets cocky right away.
The deck
All right,
was
go on with
clearly
your story.
stacked. At one side sat Commander John Burge, calm, confident, and self-deprecating. He described himself as, quote, overweight, hog-headed, and red-faced. He described his assets as minus $17,000,
Been there, done that.
which some people claim he was doing that so that if the civil suit was won, he wouldn't have there'd be a record of him not having assets to be taken.
Right.
He also described his military and police commendations as matter-of-fact, no big deal actions. As for the charges, he denied everything. On the other side was Andrew Wilson, the cop killer. He was short-tempered and withdrawn. He referred to the policeman as the blonde-haired young dude, the young stud, and the heavy-set stud, while calling him the court reporter.
Sounds like he was in jail for a long time, and he just.
Oh, these studs! Look, these guys. I now that I see how hot these guys are, I shouldn't have killed any cops because they really are.
Man,
oh
if I
man!
was in the man fucking earlier, I wouldn't have fucking shot these
I could
guys.
have just blown those cops, gotten away with the whole robbery. It'd have been fine. Wilson also called the court reporter the pornographer.
This guy can't read.
He can't read.
Oh, he can't
So
read.
actually, there was an interview
This
part where
was
they talking about how he
actually
can't read.
some pictures from the court case that went on. Is this from the court case?
Oh, that's great, man.
Oh, for our
This is
listeners,
just-
for our
this is
listeners,
from the
Sam's
court.
just passing around a picture of a suspect being interrogated orally.
Yeah.
It's.
I'm gonna suck this
Yeah, I'm
this
gonna suck
confession
it-
out of
I'm
you,
gonna suck
no matter
it-
how I have to get
I'm
it.
gonna suck this confession out of you.
Oh my God!
I guarantee that's been said so many times.
I'm confessing.
I'm gonna confess all over your face.
Oh man, can you
Oh, you like that confession?
Oh, I'm gonna confess again.
Oh, give me that confession. You want this confession?
Hey, can someone give me a rack so I can clean up this confession?
We are
a little bit?
so immature. I confessed.
Did you confess, baby?
I confess.
Oh, all over the place.
You didn't confess inside of me, did you? I'm not taking my pill.
Oh my God! I faked my confession.
Man, chicks are always faking their confessions.
Go on.
Kunkel's big play was Dr. Raymond Warpia, director of the burn center at Loyola Medical. He claimed that the hospital workers were mistaken. The wounds on Wilson's body were clearly not burns, but instead abrasions. But his testimony went off the rails when he asserted that there were only 3 doctors in this whole city who could properly diagnose burns, and that he, as one of them, had been paid $500 an hour a total of $12,000 total for his testimony.
Oh, damn. I want to start doing that.
Hell yeah.
That sounds like
Hell
a good
yeah.
career. I'm in the wrong business, huh? Yep, that's a
get
burn.
that.
Nope, not a burn.
Yeah, just go
Make
be a
your
burn
check
expert
out
real
to
quick.
Shefsky's Burn Company.
Wilson's attorneys.
I'd love that.
Wilson-
Easy gig, right?
You do
set
it.
your hours. Oh, I don't test out burns before 11 a.m.
For you guys listening, just know Thomas Shefsky is dressed like he does children's television shows in 1975.
What are you fucking talking about?
Does he look like boop, 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 letter A, boop, 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 boop. Hey kids, letter A. Go on.
That actually would have been fun.
You're the
time.
guy they bought acid from in Dazed and Confused.
Hey, man, that is not cool, man. Go on with your story, man.
Wilson's attorneys called their own doctor, a forensic pathologist who, in his spare time, helped international human rights groups train doctors to diagnose and evaluate victims of torture.
Oh.
Kunkel tried to bar his testimony.
That should be your first sign right there. Something's going on.
The judge let the doc take the stand, but forced him to limit his testimony to only identifying burns. So he couldn't testify on torture or any of that stuff.
Oh my God.
Now, a side note, I don't get into a whole lot here. This judge, like, he was recorded secretly as saying, like, oh, we're gonna see if the state will give rights to a scumbag. Like, there's all this stuff where this judge should have been recused from this case, but kept on not happening.
Right.
So he says you can't testify on torture, you only testify on burns, which the guy did, including a damning moment where he offhandedly mentioned spark burns, where the alligator clips were attached.
Go on.
In the closing arguments.
So he accidentally broke the rule there, but you can't, like, unhear stuff, right?
No, he didn't break the rule.
Oh.
But, like, he's talking about all the burns and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So a big part of the policeman defense's case was that they said that Wilson had just put the clips on himself to, like, to make it look like he'd been tortured.
So good.
And so, but then this
Is
guy...
this equivalent of what the Clintons do to people where they suicide themselves?
Yes, this is exactly what that is.
Those are very peculiar cases, if I might add that. I'm always like, well, that is kind of weird.
Yeah. When you suicide yourself by shooting
2
yourself
shots in the head?
in the back of the head.
Is that
well,
a suicide?
I suicide others
I'm-
mostly. That's my thing. I never suicide myself.
Yeah, that's true.
As long as we're talking about who you suicide.
Right.
Anytime I want to kill myself, I'm like, you know what? There's always time to confess myself. If you know
Yeah.
That's a
let me
callback.
confess one more time real quick.
Masturbation callback.
Getting it in.
Yep, I got to.
So the case that the defense for the police were saying, and what the police were giving, was that the clips had just been put on by himself to make marks and pretend to be tortured. So this guy who's arguing for for Wilson's team, he's supposed to talk about the chest burns, but he just talks. He's like, oh, I'm just talking about burns in general, and he mentions spark burns where the clips were attached, which ends up being sort of proof that there was actually electricity going through the clips.
Damn.
There you go. In the closing arguments, Wilson's team pointed out the many discrepancies in the different police testimonies. Some said the radiator was broken, some said it wasn't. Some said Burge was in the interview room, but he said he was never there. He asked why a white nurse from the hospital would testify on behalf of a convicted cop killer if she wasn't telling the truth. Finally, he asked why, if Wilson gave an oral confession at 7:30 in the morning, did they not get the written and signed statement until 10 and a half hours later? Kunkel's closing remarks boiled down to, are you really going to believe this guy?
Wait, was he saying? Was the guy saying that if he
So
does?
Kunkel's one of Marge Simpson's sisters. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, there's a lot of Simpsons.
Oh,
things.
homie.
Come on, get it. Yeah, so Wilson's attorneys are going, look at all these discrepancies. Everything's off. The timing is off here.
Wait,
and
yeah.
this
What
is
was it?
off
What
here."
was it? The timing? Like, was he saying like?
So
you should have. He would have signed it right away if
Yeah,
he
police
confessed.
said-
Why,
yeah,
what happened to those 7 hours?
Those
right?
10 and a half hours.
Okay, excuse
and
me.
usually what happens.
Am I on trial? Jesus.
Yes, you are. Always. At all times.
Okay.
Yeah, usually you get the confession and they immediately get it signed out
Right.
because you don't want to have an attorney come during that gap.
Ah,
So you-
you
and
got to
they-
mind the gap.
And they had the pornographer there anyway.
That's right.
So
Oh, bring it a
they-
full
there
circle
you go.
here.
Brah.
These studs.
So, and the studs photographer were all there. They could have got it done an hour after the confession, but it didn't happen for 10 and a half hours later. I wonder why. That's so weird.
Let's find
Because they were
out.
beating the shit out of
And then,
him.
of course, then the policeman's attorney's response is, "You gonna believe this fucking guy?" Finally, the case went to the jury, who had to decide if A, the officers had abused Wilson, B, if they had engaged in a conspiracy to do so. After 10 hours of debate, they cleared 2 of the officers on the first count, but could not agree on anything else. The judge declared a mistrial.
Oh, snaps.
Uh-oh.
So is this guy gonna walk free?
Well, hold on. We have more pages.
I just
Gee,
don't know.
how many more pages you got?
Enough.
A couple hundred. He does his research. We have to
Let him get through it.
We gotta let him get through it.
But the most important piece of evidence never made it to the courtroom during that trial.
Bum, bum, bum.
During the trial, Wilson's attorneys began receiving anonymous letters from someone who appeared to have inside knowledge of John Burge's precinct. listing a group of officers as Burge's ass kickers.
Ooh,
Badass.
kind of a cool name.
The first letter alleged that during the murder investigation, several men were beaten inside the police headquarters in front of the assistant state's attorney and 2 of the highest-ranking cops in the city.
They just stood there?
I mean,
Beat him!
And confessed themselves, probably.
They're
That's what I'm
probably
guessing.
like fucking UFC fans. Like, yeah, just bleed.
Woo!
They
Ric
put,
Flair fans.
Yeah, this is
they put them in those shorts and affliction shirts? Yeah, they're just fine. This is legal.
Furthermore, the letter accused the mayor and the Illinois state attorney of ordering that, quote, numerous complaints filed against the police as a result of this crime not be investigated.
Ooh, so they had the mayor on the side.
Sounds like pedogate.
The second letter, in a Chicago PD envelope, claimed that Andrew Wilson was beaten after he gave his confession. The third letter told him to find a man named Melvin Jones, currently in jail on a murder charge. They tracked him down and made a critical discovery. On February 5th, 1982, 9 days before Wilson's arrest, John Burge had tried to get a confession from Jones by delivering electric shocks to his foot, thigh, and dick.
Oh.
Dude, does your dick recover from that? This is just, I'm very curious. Like,
Oh,
can
yeah.
you ever go back?
Can you ever get hard with these studs again?
It's the only way I get hard,
And the
is
pornography?
by direct electrical shock to my penis.
It just seems like insane.
What do you guys do? Viagra?
I know. I use left hand.
You go, oh, you go milkmaid, knuckles up?
Yeah, yeah.
I like that.
That's called the monkey palm. You're pulling it. You're just trying to fix the pipe. Yeah.
In a transcript from the hearing about his confession, Jones recalled a question Burge asked him. If he had ever heard of 2 tough gang members known as Satan and Cochise.
Oh my God.
Well, I've heard of
Cochise?
Satan.
They're both black gangster disciples from Chicago.
Cochise?
I thought Cochise was a cop name, wasn't it?
I thought that sounded like some kind of sexy cream cheese. Cochise.
Cochise.
That's what happens when you're not circumcised. If you don't wash up like you should, boys and girls,
lot of
you're
Cochise.
gonna get some Cochise. That's that video you watch. It's like a 1950s theme video with your coach. With the whole class, not just you and your coach, the whole class.
5, 4.
Jimmy has Cochise, but he doesn't know why. We do.
When Jones said yes, Burge told him that even they gave in when faced with the black box.
Oh yeah, dude. Whenever I'm faced with a black box, man.
I love black boxes. I bang so many black chicks. It's great.
Congrats, man. Proud of you.
Not so much me.
On the record, preparing for the second trial, Wilson's lawyers tracked down Satan, who told them that Burge used the black box on him all the way back in 1973.
Oh my God.
Oh, so this guy's got a history of it. Now he's not getting away with it. He's got a
Ironically,
history of that shit. People know.
Ironically, the story of Jones' torture appeared in one of Burge's 13 commendations, where he is congratulated for, quote, skillful questioning.
Hell yeah.
They always have nice names for some really fucked up shit. Let's just call it skillful questioning.
Next, they found a man who Burge.
You're
the L's just-
addicted to the
yeah.
word burgle.
I know.
Yeah,
Boogle.
you
like it
got
'cause
problems.
it
Who
rhymes with
Burge
gurgle.
shocked in the testicles, but the FBI had ignored the man's complaints. Another man reported the same thing along with Burge's opening words. Fun time.
That's creepy too. Does this guy have sex with someone? I gotta know what that life is like too.
Soon more stories turned up implicating other officers for similar tortures.
He's like, no, at work, honey, I do all the torturing. At home, stick that in my ass. You know what I'm saying, baby? It's Friday night.
Is it plugged in?
I don't want to be in charge here. You know what I mean? Put the ball gagger
Do you
in
need new
me.
batteries?
Yeah, that's right.
You're so retarded, dude.
Well, it's because I'm very perceptive of this society.
All of this was great until the judge ruled these letters as inadmissible on grounds that were pretty much barely defensible.
The outline, the format sucks. I can't look at it. Where's your name? Where's the date?
Literally that kind of bullshit.
Right?
The judge basically goes like,
What font is this?
I don't know. They don't seem
Double
like they
spaced?
work.
I can't make notes on this thing.
Damn. My white
Yeah.
guilt is at an all-time high right now.
Well, we did an episode when
this
this
story?
first show,
Yeah.
when
Not
this
that bad.
podcast first started with a guy in Las Vegas, one of the public defendants, and dude, the DAs they're all fucking shady as shit. The cops are shady as shit. You know, there's a fine line. And listen, my grandfather's a cop. My cousin is becoming a cop. Most cops are good people, but there can be a fine line between criminal and police officer.
I think if you work, I mean,
I don't believe it. Even all this way through the story, I still don't believe it.
Slaton,
I think that
don't you want to smack him? We need
defend the blue line. That's what I
you
say.
have like a long hand with a little Mickey Mouse glove on it.
You know
You
what
can
I
be
want to do? I
like,
want to
"Slaton,
take a cattle
sarcastic."
prod that you can get at a sex
Oh
toy
my God.
place
You're-
and fucking shock your balls.
These stories
I've
are
been asking for that for
desensitizing
so
people.
long.
This is what I was worried about. We're desensitizing people, and we're making them more animalistic and evil instead of bringing them up.
By evil, you mean
I want to take this
sexy.
moment, like I always do on our
See
show,
what I mean?
to encourage any
Sam's
of our
hard.
listeners to take what we've learned on this show and commit some crimes.
No!
Just make sure that you document your life well enough so that I have a good stuff for the story.
Make sure you email everybody all the evil shit you do, like Hillary Clinton did.
If you commit a legit crime, document it, send it to me, and we'll do it on the show.
Shefsky here with a
all right,
public
keep it
service
going, dude.
announcement.
You're like
At the
9
se-
pages to go.
At the second trial, the police attorneys changed tactics. Abandoning the expensive doctor, this time they argued that the wounds were in fact burns, but that Wilson had done them to himself.
Burn!
They brought new witnesses. A prisoner named William Coleman, also known as Mark Framer, Paul Roberts, Richard Halloran, R.W. Stevenson, Peter Carl William, John Simmons, William Clarkson, and my favorite, W. Vandervim.
That's a great name.
Vandervim. I wrote a book about faking my name called Fake Your Name and Name Faking for the Business of Name Faking. I'm William G. Vandervim.
William, Paul, Richard, whatever, all those names, had already served time in Britain, Germany, Holland, Monaco, and Hong
He's
Kong.
on tour.
That sounds
On
like he's got his
charges of
own show
fraud.
on the fucking National Geographic.
Yeah, how long? Yeah, he's Anthony Bourdain in International Criminal. He can just go anywhere. I've been to so many. The cuisine is what drives me. You know. Next, I plan on Japan. I'm a big sushi guy.
On charges of fraud, theft, perjury, manslaughter, and blackmail, he was currently in the U.S. jail for intent to deliver cocaine.
I get some shoplifting done in Peru.
Coleman reliably testified that Wilson told him he'd burned his chest on purpose to frame the cops for abuse.
So good.
Damn.
I
so
guess-
good.
Yeah, you could just use that anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So you did that to yourself.
After 2 months of proceedings, the jury returned a verdict that was somehow stranger than the first. For Wilson to win his judgment, they had to answer yes to 3 questions. First, were his constitutional rights violated? The jury said yes. Second, did the city of Chicago in 1982 have a de facto policy, practice, or custom that allowed abuse of suspected cop killers? The jury again answered yes. Finally, was Wilson subjected to excessive force due to this policy? The jury answered no.
Wait.
I know. What? That experience you're having when your brain is melting right now?
You're so confused.
Yeah. So, long story boy, and they were like, yeah, he was abused in some way. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, yes, his constitutional rights were violated. Yes, they had a policy of abusing cop killers. But no, they didn't abuse him in the context of all this.
Think about this, right?
So-
You're a juror. You're a jury.
I'm in a juror.
You're in a jury.
I'm,
You're a juror
I'm
on a
confessing
jury.
inside a juror.
You're
I get
a
it.
juror
That's my dream.
in a jury.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meeting is adjourned.
And you're trying cops.
Yeah.
You know the cops all know your name.
Yeah.
So if you find them guilty,
That's true.
your life from there on
It's like fucking
is
with the mafia.
fucking shit.
Yep. It's like fucking with the mafia.
I would be like, hey, dude, can you do this trial? No, dude, because if I find these guys guilty, they're going to terrorize me for the rest of my life. So anything they've done, I don't believe they did it.
We actually have an explanation directly from one of the jurors.
Okay.
Burge and his friends were cleared again of all charges. Later, a juror gave an interview saying, quote, "It just seemed to me that they were just really mad at this guy
Hold
for
on, stop.
shooting."
Why are you putting a southern retarded draw on
Definitely
the
not Southern at all.
Yeah, right? Who got that? That sounded Trailer Park Methy.
Let's
It
try
just
that
se-
again, Slay. Let's take this audition over.
I
Let's
want
try that again.
British
Take it.
royalty when
Ooh,
you read
British
this.
royalty.
It just seemed to me that they were really just mad at this guy for shooting one of their buddies. And, you know, a couple of those guys took the liberty of letting their emotional attitude toward this guy show. But it is kind of hard to find someone responsible for something so serious without an actual witness coming forward and saying, "I seen him do it."
That sounded really British. Oh, I seen him do it.
So long story boring, he was like, they were just mad because this guy killed their buddies and they got kind of emotional.
Yeah.
And
he
that's
was
why
black. Come on. It's
That
the
totally is. He's a black guy.
I mean, that's really the defense for anything a cop does, I'm assuming, right?
God
But
damn.
despite the jurors' failure to understand what abuse is, the failed trial came with a silver lining. Like the abuse scandals currently rocking Hollywood, the claims against Burge and his cronies gained public momentum. In 1980, Reporter John Conroy wrote the first of what would become
John Conroy from Terminator.
one of the best ones.
John Conroy, I'm looking for you.
How come there's never black Terminators, by the way? They're a little faster than all the rest
Yeah,
of
it's called Blade.
Terminators.
Blurminators.
Black, they keep getting stopped by the cops. I'm here from the future. I gotta save this planet. They're like, could you please step out of the vehicle? Black Terminator.
That's just how John Connor wins the war. He's like, guys, I got a great idea.
Let's throw fat white chicks at these black Terminators.
It stops them. Oh, dude. I'm just preoccupied. I want to save the planet, but the future depends on it. But look at this ass. It's a pog.
1990, reporter John Conroy wrote the first of what would become dozens of articles spanning the next 2 decades, delving deep into John Burge and the torture stories. He exposed more victims, more abuses, and more cover-ups. Police brutality became a central theme in the 1991 Chicago mayoral race, as well as the focus of a public statement by Amnesty International, eventually forcing the city mayor to reopen investigations to stop accusations of a cover-up. More accusations began to pop up. Soon, another convicted felon brought a $16 million lawsuit against Burge, his guys in the city.
$16 million, but he's a convicted felon.
Sure.
I would love to know how he breaks that number. Like, I once got sued. I hit a van full of a family of Hispanic descent.
Well,
right?
it's public now.
And they came out they saw the car I hit him with. And they're like, we're suing you for $500,000. I'm like, you saw the car I hit you with. Where do you think that money is coming from?
We'll take that in diabolical T-shirts.
Sounds like, here's $500,000 in tickets to my show. We'll be at the Hollywood Improv
And
on
here's a bunch of
Thursday.
download codes for Believe in Yourself.
Oh, dude. You're plugging well for him. Could have done that for us earlier. Go on.
But where was I? He claimed that after suffocation, electrocution, and having a gun shoved in his mouth, that he had falsely confessed to murder. 11 other victims soon joined the suit. The city settled out of court, while one of the accused torturers was promoted.
To lead torture. Check out my badge, honey.
By this point, it was a full-on PR scandal that was costing the city real money. So they took decisive action and suspended Burge for 30 days.
Oh, you'll see. Go home for 30 days.
You're
and
on timeout.
Watch the fucking Cubs play baseball.
Go think about what you did.
When the month was up, he was still a police officer. It took 2 more years, but in 1993, John Burge was finally fired. But he would not go quietly.
Oh.
He fought to keep his job. Since he was a police officer, the city was forced to pay for lawyers on both sides of the dispute.
Oh, sounds like a rich guy getting divorced.
Right?
And I want my black box.
At the same time, Wilson was granted a 3rd appeal, which he won. But as a convicted murderer, he did not get any of the money. In the $1 million settlement, $100,000 went to the families of the officers he murdered, and $900,000 went to his attorneys who had worked for free for the last 10 years.
Oh, my God. Good. I don't give a
It's
fuck.
like a John Grissom book.
I don't give a shit. You shot and killed people.
Well, he's also in jail forever. Like, he's never, there's no... What's
Yeah,
he
we
do?
don't need him to get the money.
He's going to buy a lot of chocolate bars from the commissary.
We
Like,
don't
it's
need
not-
him to get the money. Yeah, but
So, hold on. So, the cops... Oh, okay, I get it. Go on.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
In 1994, after his firing, John Burge moved to Apollo Beach, Florida, where he bought a house and a 40-foot boat named the Vigilante.
oh yeah, this
What's
guy's
his name?
gonna be
Graham Elwood?
Jesus.
This guy's finally gonna take his time. Graham.
He opened a fishing business and collected his legally mandated 50% pension of $30,000 a year.
Oh wow.
Back in the 80s, you could live off that.
Yeah. Oh, easily. He's 94 now, but still you could live off
But it's
that,
in
too.
Florida,
Still live
right?
off that. He's
Yeah.
probably into grunge, so he doesn't have to wash
He owned his
clothes.
house, too. He had about like $150,000 house or whatever.
Right.
While he fished, the legal
Yeah, he seems like a
fallout-
huge L7 fan. This cop that tortures people. He's a big Nirvana guy.
He probably just
Totally.
followed
Said he was into
fucking
grunge.
them around the country.
He's got a flannel. He's like, listen, the way I torture them,
He
I
just
pull out
is
this
a-
tiny little Fender amp, and I just play the worst music you've ever seen.
No stairway!
Remember grunge? I was like, that was
course.
when I was in high school. And
Oh.
listen, let me tell you something, dude. Like these girls now all dress like strippers and porn stars. The girls I dress like fucking like lesbian. Like all the chicks were like like fucking
Bikini
forest
Kill.
lesbians.
Yeah.
Forest lesbians.
But
In
in
the
all
forest.
in all defense, the grunge era is like one of my favorite.
And
eras.
loose clothing
I'm
was
saying,
thrown around during
the way
concerts
the women
much
dress
easier.
was horrible.
I guess I was more concerned with how Kurt Cobain dressed, but yeah, the women dressed badly.
Yeah, but they were they were
was just
little
starting
choker
puberty. I just love the
necklaces,
music.
They
extra
look,
eyeliner.
Yeah, they look. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
awful. They looked like
smelled
they
like
were
Teen
butchers
Spirit.
in fucking lesbian butchery.
Yeah, they did smell like
I'll tell
that.
you
Teen
something.
Spirit.
You wear a flannel that just has the right amount of musk on it. You're good with me, man or woman. Go on.
While John fished, the legal fallout continued. In 1999, a group known as the Death Row 10 became famous because they were all convicted on confessions extracted by Burge and his ass kickers.
Oh, so people are like, we don't even know if these people are the actual murderers.
In 2000, the Republican governor of Illinois placed a moratorium on executions after the state courts freed 13 death row inmates who had been wrongfully convicted.
Yes.
Dang.
Before leaving office.
No, wait. Were they wrongfully convicted or were they actually innocent? Because those are two different things.
There's some of them yes, some of them no.
Because it's like if the glove
A
don't
lot
fit,
of them
but still, was he the
are
killer?
innocent.
We got to get those people out of jail.
There were a few who were not a lot, but there were a few who were definitely innocent. But a lot who were wrongfully convicted because everything was sort of fabricated by these
that's
guys.
what scares me.
A
like,
lot
about
of
the
them
process.
are innocent, dude. You can go through them. A lot of them are innocent. They didn't get any DNA testing. They were like, it was an all-white jury.
Well, here's the debate. But the question, and this is why I want to be fair to this whole discussion, is there were some who was like definitely proven they were innocent, and a lot of them where it's like, there's no way you could prove these guys were guilty.
They were wrongfully
They're
black.
wrongfully convicted. Oh yes, wrongfully. I mean,
There's nothing wrong with being black. Oh, you're on their side? Okay, never mind. You're good.
all right. I was in a red state team. I mean, isn't everyone wrongfully black? You know. Before leaving office in 2003, the governor commuted the death sentences of 167 prisoners.
Dang.
In 2004, John Burge was finally subpoenaed to testify before a grand jury.
But he was out
deciding how to
fishing, so
handle
he
the
didn't have
He
to.
was too busy following
That's
L7 around the country. He couldn't show up.
Wearing that shirt with the fisherman guy that's fishing. It says "Gone fishing." There's the fish is stuck in his dick. Remember that classic shirt? Sorry, bud. I'm out of the
He's
force.
too busy following Lollapalooza around the country.
He's like, a Soundgarden was good, but Audio Slave, that's where I moved on to, fellers. Fish. They don't have enough distortion.
Over the 4-hour grand jury deposition, John Burge pleaded the Fifth Amendment to every single question except for 3. He gave them his name, his boat's name, and the
his
amount
favorite
of his
flavor
pension.
of sausage. Oh.
And his favorite L7 song.
Bricks
My
are heavy.
favorite's Carpet Munch.
Is that an L7 song, or are you just joking? Okay.
Sure.
They have a lot
Almost
of great songs.
assuredly. In 2006, the court forced the city to release its special report on the torture accusations. It revealed shocking information. It concluded that John and his crew had tortured over 200 criminal suspects between 1972 and 1991. But no indictment would be coming because the statute of limitations had expired.
On torture?
On torture.
Well, Sam, that's what it's there for. It's a statute of
know.
limitations, right?
But as we learned in this story, what the law wants, the law gets.
Ooh.
U.S. Attorney Patrick Fitzgerald got creative, charging Burge in 2008 with 2 counts of obstruction of justice and 1 count of perjury. Since they were tied to more recent proceedings, they were still valid charges. Now, so the important thing here is the guy, this U.S. attorney said, look, this guy is guilty of torture, but we can't get him. But I can get him for lying about the torture. So, on June 28th, 2009, on the charges of
2009?
2009.
This just happened.
Yeah.
He's in the building.
On the
Are we okay?
Yeah. I'm fine.
You're
But that's
safe.
because I'm into electrocuting
He
my
gets
dick,
out
though.
from under the table. Have you been sucking Rich's dick this whole time? He's like, yeah, he just confessed.
That's why I paid.
You've really changed your tactics, sir.
I love confessing.
He turns his hat backwards.
On the charges of lying about torturing people, John Burge was found guilty and sentenced to 4.5 years in federal prison.
Oh,
It's gonna be the worst as a cop,
Oh,
man.
yeah, cop in prison, dude. We've seen Judge Dredd. We know that.
He
ends.
was released in October of 2014.
Oh, he just got out.
It is estimated that the total cost to the city of Chicago in settlements, judgments, and legal fees is over $520 million.
Oh my God, we've got a problem with spending.
So it cost them 1 Alex Rodriguez. Is that
Yes.
what it is?
Yeah.
One.
Think about how many
Alex
schools they could have
Rodriguez.
built. How
The
much
Cubs
shit-
could have won the
people
World
ought-
Series years ago if the city hadn't spent so much money on this guy's torture.
This case could have fixed Flint's fucking water pipes.
Easily.
Jesus.
Different state. They could have done it too.
Yeah, they could have helped out. They had so much extra
you
cash.
give your money to the other state. You don't have to, but you can. It's like your neighbor state.
Included in that figure is $5.5 million for a fund created in 2015 by Mayor Rahm Emanuel to pay the victims of Burge and his ass kickers. In response, Burge gave his first ever post-jail interview saying, quote, I find it hard to believe that the city's political leadership would even contemplate giving reparations to human vermin.
Damn.
I mean, look it.
Hey, go down swinging.
At least he changed his tune in jail, became
I get that you gotta be able to thank God we have the Constitution. You gotta be able to fight and say you shouldn't have been torturing these guys, right? But then you're like, if the guy is a murderer though, we shouldn't also give that guy $1 million that it's the murderer, right? If the guy was wrongfully accused and spent his time in prison and was tortured, then yeah, you got to give him cash. But don't you retry them and be like, hey, are you the murderer still, or what's going on?
I mean, the guy's a scumbag and he deserves to be in jail. But at the end of the day, you do have rights.
I agree.
I don't agree with cop killing. I think it's disgusting. Again, I have family members who are and were police officers, so I'm not condoning that. But it's you have within that moment of him going from being arrested to being convicted, he has rights of a man.
No, and I agree. You got to have those rights. I'm thankful that they're there.
Now, what if he requests to have his dick and balls?
Then he should pay. He should be paying out.
Should we allow that? Should we allow a convict to have their dick and balls electrocuted?
That's the bigger story. That's the bigger story. This cop was just homophobic and he was ashamed of his tendencies. And this guy and the suspect actually were just hooking up, doing weird.
I'm going to electrocute these dicks until everyone stops.
Yeah,
until I stop wanting to suck. Yeah. God damn it, just kill him.
Yep. The real irony is he probably works as an electrician at the Studs Theater on Santa Monica Boulevard now. So.
My favorite movie that was ever there, because they used to put the names of the movies there, and it was The Devil Is a Bottom. That was my favorite.
Really, that was the name?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, go on.
Because they taunt.
It's also the name of my
memoir. I can't help myself. That's a very Islamic stance on homosexual sex. The devil is anyone with a booty that wants to get rammed. You know what I'm saying? That's his fault.
Go on.
Epilogue Part 1. Andrew Wilson.
Sorry, bro.
So 2 notes. First, Andrew Wilson passed away from natural causes in 2007.
Okay. Ball electrocution.
Okay. Yeah. John Conroy.
He didn't overdose on cock in prison, with all those stunts. Those pornographers.
The pornographers.
Could any of that electrocuting stuff they did actually made his life shorter? Could it have had long detrimental effects to his health?
It's possible, but he was born in
you
what
really
I say,
do
40,
ask the questions
47.
nobody wants answers to. It is really amazing. It's really amazing.
Someone's got to put me on point. I resign. Keep going with your story. I don't understand the human race. Our spaceship just landed. I'm still trying to figure out what people are into.
He was 60 when he passed, so he wasn't he was.
That's fucking young. Go on with your story.
It's young now, but you don't it's not.
It's a good age to go.
Yeah.
60 in black years is 120 though.
Yeah.
And Black Death Row years. Yeah. That's.
I bet you outlived most people on his block.
Probably.
They actually kept him safer being in prison.
He
should be thankful of the white man. Right, guys?
So I think the prison industrial complex really is a goal to extend the life expectancy of Black Americans.
The views of this show is not that of Tinfoil Hat, but that of crime.
Fucking
racist crime
you
show.
You dirty little bitch.
John
I thought we
Conroy.
were in this together. This is humor.
The reporter covering the
Satire.
case eventually dug deep enough to find the possible source of John Burge's skills. While interviewing men stationed with Burge in Vietnam, he learned that it was not uncommon for Vietnamese POWs or even Vietnamese volunteers at the camp to be tortured for information by taking a hand-cranked telephone, attaching the wires to a subject's genitals, and delivering electric shocks.
Imagine how stinky people's balls were in Nam.
Oh,
so
yeah.
humid.
And then you had a little electricity to it.
Do you think anyone brushed their teeth in Nam?
This guy's like the evil Forrest Gump.
Brush your teeth with it.
Are you trying to double up on my bad question?
No.
Okay, I thought Sam was riffing on me
right now. Nobody brushed their teeth. But there was a time where nobody brushed their teeth.
That's a great point.
I don't believe you.
There was. And
Everyone
was just everyone had dog shit for breath.
You know the first scene in 2001 Space Odyssey? Guaranteed nobody brushed their teeth back then, right?
Ugh.
There was a time when shit was stinky.
Ugh, that's
There's
terrible.
a time when Colgate's we got to convince people to start brushing their teeth.
So here's a question. Would you rather be tortured with his electrical box to the dick and balls
for how long?
No, thank you.
For a few hours.
Okay.
For a normal standard jail time, interrogation.
Even for bringing that up.
Or have to live in a world where no one had ever brushed their teeth.
Definitely pick the no brush your teeth.
Yeah.
Come on.
Because no one knows
a few hours of dick electrocution versus a lifetime of trying to make out with chicks with fucked up breath.
Everybody has bad breath. Nobody has bad breath.
You think your nose is filters
Can I tell
it
you
out?
something? If you eat right though, you could probably if you're gonna make out with a chick but you don't brush your teeth but you chew on mint and a couple other things, you could probably still have decent breath. You're fine.
I go with ball electrocution all day.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, that's
I'm afraid that you like that. I'm afraid
you
request that. You're like, please brush.
This guy's like a filthy onion. We're just pulling back little.
Today's sources include the decades of in-depth articles written by John Conroy for the Chicago Reader, much of which can be found in his book, Unspeakable Acts, Ordinary People, which documents the psychology of torture across many cases.
Does he
like
have
this
an
one.
Instagram story I could follow? Because I'm not really into
Yeah, can you Snapchat? And of course, the evil robots at Wikipedia.
And
that's
guys,
the story
Why are
of John
they
Birch.
evil?
They're robots.
Okay.
Guys,
mean,
don't let
what?
this story make you feel like you gotta hate cops or hate black people. Just everybody's
Who hated
unique and
black people?
individual.
What is your show
We gotta make
about?
sure everyone knows that everyone needs to just get along.
I
We like to
love
state the obvious
everybody,
here.
Dude. I love everybody.
Just hate people from Chicago in general.
Listen,
There
if
you
I
go.
hated black
love
people, would I
Chicagoans.
watch nothing but interracial porn? No. Think
Right?
about it. Think about it.
Right?
Here's everybody's favorite part of our show. Aaron, thoughts?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, being someone from Chicago originally, it's just a Chicago way, baby. It's just how we do it.
You are from everywhere. Where
Let's
are
go
you
Cubs. Let's go. Is that the right team?
from? No, he's
No,
a
I'm a
Cardinals
Cardinals
fan too. That's blasphemy. I
hate
didn't
the
even
Cubs.
know that.
Yeah.
You're from San Diego, but you're a Cardinals fan who used to live in Chicago.
Yep.
How long did you live in Chicago?
Till I was 4.
Oh.
Birth to 4.
Oh.
Grew up in the same neighborhood.
So
as
what
Billy
happened?
Corgan.
Did John
Oh,
Podesta
cool.
molest you, and that's why you're not a Cubs fan?
No.
You heard it here.
I'm not
first.
supposed to applaud for hero John Podesta?
No, just clap as much as
Yeah,
you
there we
want.
go.
Yeah, clap as much as you
Hero.
want. Clap, yeah.
American
for you.
molestation hero.
Tell everyone where they can find you guys and hunt you down.
So for our listeners and your listeners, you can get us on all social medias at CrimePod, CRiiiME pod on Instagram and Twitter. You can email us, crimepodcast@gmail.com with 1 I or 3 for any story ideas, questions you have, dick pics. Label those for John Shefsky.
Yes, please. I love those. Thank
Did
you.
you guys get along with the 2i Crime podcast? Do you guys get along with those guys?
Is there one?
There's a two-eyed crime.
And they say it in unison?
You piece of shit, laying down
No,
fear for
Slaton's
me.
joking. And so is Tripoli, and everyone's cool. We're having a lot of
We're
peace
in a
and love
we're
on
in
this
a
show.
Muay Thai fight because
I'm going tomorrow.
you're going to MTAG.
Yeah.
I'm wearing the shirt right now.
Yeah, I know that.
I'll go with.
I
Are you
know
going to
that.
2:00 class?
And
Yeah.
if you guys ever want to reach me, I'm Instagram at JONSHEFSKY, and nobody cares?
No, we do. We do.
Just follow the show at
Just follow the show
CrimePod,
at
CRiiME.
CrimePod.
Look us get on
Get
to
us
us on
on-
iTunes,
iTunes
or
is our
Laughable,
favorite.
whatever. Send us a
iTunes is the
review.
best. Oh, you're
Guys, real quick, are you guys done?
Where can people find you for our listeners?
You can go to at Sam Tripoli, TRIPOLI. You can check out. We already did. Unless you're gonna cut it out. The at either Tinfoil Hat Show, Tinfoil Hat Pod, Tinfoil Hat Cast, where all those stuff. Guys, check out our Patreon. We are really dumping a lot of content on there. We're doing tons of it. We have a new episode coming up. We've had some audio issues that we're working out. So you're going to get 2 this week, guys. If you're a Patreon subscriber, you're getting 2. We've been putting up a ton of YouTube videos up there. Support the show. You guys are buying the shirts. Check out the shirts. And we just love you guys, man. The show's growing. We have some insane shows coming up after this. So stay tuned, man, because we're going to blow the roof off this stuff. And you know what, man? As we go on, you get called freaks. You get called weird. It comes out more and more that we're right and they're fucking wrong. So just keep checking out all the shit we've been pushing on here. More and more truth keeps coming out. So stay strong and, keep fighting the good fight, man. And follow us and leave us some good comments on iTunes if you like the show. Give us a 5-star review if you can. Anything else, Ryan?
Nah, man. Thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate it.
Guys, thanks
Yeah.
for doing the show.
Bye,
we'll do it again
robot.
soon. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks so much.
Frick yeah.